Welcome back to episode 6 of the Roadrunner Diamond Report. Thanks to everyone that's been watching, the new followers, subscribers. We appreciate it. All the likes. And don't forget, we are open for NIL business with any UTSA baseball athlete. Let's get into this Texas State game tonight. Yes, it's a I-35 rivalry. UTSA off to their best start in program history, going to San Marcos to take on the Bobcats. Bobcats are 4-2 on the season, just coming off a 2-1 series victory against Gonzaga. There's been a lot of talk early this week about whether or not, UTSA shouldn't be ranked. I had a friend ask me, do you think, it's a little disrespectful for UTSA not to be ranked after the type of weekend they had and so on and so forth? And my reaction and my answer basically was the rankings don't really matter, right? There's not a real, it's not college football where there's an AP poll and rankings literally dictate their season. Towards the end of the season, when it gets down to the college football playoff, in baseball, we know it's a little bit different. There's multiple, you have the D1, Baseball America, just different outlets with their rankings. And it really doesn't mean too much. Like we talked about all last week, and more on Sunday night whenever we were recapping the series, UTSA is already number 2 in the country in RPI, which is a huge metric in determining who gets into the NCAA tournament. They had a great weekend. They're literally undefeated and couldn't do any better than how they've started so far this season, in my opinion, right? They're 7-0. Now they have, again, we talked about it. This is a huge week because they have rival Texas State, a perennial, I would say fringe perennial team that makes it to the NCAA tournament, usually out of the Sun Belt. This is a huge game for UTSA, especially before they go on to Houston to take on Ohio State, Coastal Carolina, and Baylor. More opportunities to build up that resume. But first things first, they got to take on Texas State. And I agree with what Coach Hallmark said, and we echoed pretty much, it was basically the same, where he said the rankings don't really matter because they don't. They really don't matter. Yes, it's cool to see it. It's great for the fans, like he notated. But at the end of the day, as long as UTSA does their job, they'll get into the NCAA tournament, and that's all that matters. The rankings literally don't matter. And I believe it was Baseball America still had Tennessee ranked in the top 25 after getting beat 2 out of 3 games to Kent State. That tells you everything you need to know about rankings. They literally do not matter. So, and the other thing is with rankings, the number one in the entire history of the 64-team NCAA tournament in college baseball, the number 1 overall seed has only won one national championship, and that was 2 years ago with Tennessee. It's literally never happened other than one time. So, my opinion, rankings don't matter. The play on the field matters. Now, let's get into this Texas State matchup. Yes, the Bobcats own the all-time series lead, 63-42 over the Roadrunners, but they're 4-6 in the last 10, and the Bobcats have also lost 3 straight to UTSA. Good news. And what we don't want here from the Roadrunners is a sleep game. We don't want them to be caught sleeping at the wheel, fat and happy after sweeping Dallas Baptist, and then, have a lazy performance against Texas State. I don't think that'll happen, and we know why. Because this is a rivalry. Both teams do not like each other. Fans, alums don't like each other. It just is what it is. So I expect a good performance from UTSA tonight. And I'll tell you why. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. And the main reason is the Texas State pitching. It's not great, especially the starter that they're trotting out there tonight. Not the strongest. Sam Hall has started this season, and he's yet to record an out. He went into the game, allowed 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs, and has an ERA posted of 99.99. Not good. Literally as bad as it could get. ERA as bad as it could possibly get without being in the triple digits. Again, if you're UTSA, you don't want to come into this game overconfident, a little too fat, a little too happy, too cocky. You got to stay laser focused. Like we talked about Sunday night, the bar's been set. There is expectations. The expectation is, we've beat this team 3 times in a row. Let's lock in, do it again, head into the weekend well rested, right? And that's what UTSA needs to do. Couple good hitters for the Bobcats tonight, and that's going to be freshman Jackson Cotton. He already leads the team in OPS, and he's tied with the lead with 2 home runs as a true freshman. Also, junior Manny Salas leads the team in hits. And of course, Chase Mora, who's been a top prospect, MLB prospect throughout his 4 years at Texas State, except he's not off to a hot start this season, only batting with a .748 OPS, 7 hits on the season, 7 RBI with 2 home runs. But Chase Mora and the caliber of player batter he is, those numbers should be higher. Again, early in the season, just relaying the facts here. For UTSA, they'll have Christian Okerholm. At least he's the probable starter. We don't really know. UTSA doesn't post it early like some other schools that, you check out their website and so on. So this is just a probable starter based off the Texas State website and program. Christian Okerholm, 5 innings pitched, has allowed only 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned run, and has an ERA posted of 1.80. Pretty strong stuff with 5 innings of work. We're going to need him to step it up again tonight. And what are we expecting from this UTSA offense? Let's look at the current stat leaders for this UTSA offense. At OPS, who had a great weekend, and this guy just constantly collects. He just bats in runs nonstop. Josh Arquette's leading the team in OPS with 7 games started and played. 1.450 OPS. That's big league level stuff. And if you've been watching the games, you know how clutch he's been. And I wish I had the numbers for, his batting with players on base. It's got to be great. And our hits leader, Lane Hallworth, 13 hits. Something else to look at with Lane, he also leads the team in stolen bases. So he gets on, he steals bases, and he brings in runs. So that's what we want to see. Okay, now for our doubles leaders. We have 2 tied with 3 doubles. Josh Arquette once again and Caden Miller. Triples, 2 tied. Yes, you guessed it, Josh Arquette and Diego Diaz. RBI leader is none other than, Josh Arquette, 13 RBI. We have 2 tied with 10, and that's Christian Hallmark and Drew Detlefson. Drew Detlefson also leads the team with 11 runs, and Hallmark leads the team with 7 walks. We know he has the team high on base percentage as well at .640. Great stuff there. And 3 tied with 3 stolen bases on the season. Lane Hallworth, Christian Hallmark, and Caden Miller. All 3 at 100% stolen base percentage as well. And some of our pitching leaders who, we talked about this Sunday night as well. The pitching leaders have been not only dominant, but they're getting 5 solid innings of work. And one of, I would say, the 2 most underrated players. I mean, this is a great team. We know that, especially offensively. But I still feel like these pitchers and this pitching staff is extremely underrated. Sam Simmons, 9.2 innings pitched, .93 ERA. And that was against a very strong, going into the weekend, an extremely strong Dallas Baptist offense. Totally shut them down. Same thing with our Sunday starter, Kendall Dove. 9 innings of work, no ERA. Just solid stuff. This offense is humming and is firing on all cylinders, but this pitching staff has been calm and cool and just mowing down offenses. And hopefully that continues tonight. The pitching staff, of course, not perfect throughout the weekend, but they did as good of a job as you could ask for. These 2 guys are leading the way for UTSA, and hats off to them because this is an outstanding staff and start for a team who lost their number 1 starter the first inning of the season. So the way I think this game plays out is UTSA jumps all over this starting pitcher, Sam Hall. I think UTSA scored 14, 18 runs last time these 2 met. So I'm expecting a good offensive performance, especially jumping out early like they did against Dallas Baptist. That first inning has been crucial for UTSA. The first couple innings has been crucial because they've been attacking. And not only that, but discipline at the plate, getting on base, and then knocking in those runs, taking advantage of the other team's mistakes, whether it's walks, hits by pitch, or errors. UTSA is going to make you pay. And that's what we need once again. Get a lead, two runs, 3 runs, 4 runs. That calms down the pitching staff, gives them, plenty of breathing room to work with, as well as the defense backing up those pitchers. So I think UTSA starts work early, gets the bats going, gets on base, catches in those runs. And we should see, I believe we might see Mike DiBattista here. I think I say that almost every game. But I believe he only pitched a couple innings on Saturday. So depending on how far Okarom goes, we'll kind of dictate the ending of the game. And that's kind of how it's worked so far this season. A couple freshmen been getting some work as well. But, we have a long weekend ahead. So the more innings Christian Okarom can pitch, obviously the better. And how does that happen? With help from the offense. That's how I think this game's going to play out. Again, thank you for everyone for watching, liking, subscribing, and let me know what y'all think about the game tonight, how y'all think it's going to play out, what should we look forward to, and again, we'll see y'all next time.